when does The Great Gatsby get started?
I'm off on a plane on Monday night to start rehearsing. Well, to continue rehearsing.
Now, getting that part must have blown your mind.
Ah, yeah. It's like, I'm in a really, and I'm sure Tommy's a bit like this as well, particularly in this last year has been really interesting for me. Not because of, well, it's really interesting for lots of reasons, but one of the reasons is I still feel like I'm working really hard to get the work. Like when I went to go meet Tony Gilroy about the Bourne thing, and that was a whole big, long story, but I worked hard, and got to a place of going, okay, maybe I won't even audition for this film, and then, cut to 2 months later, I'm close to, maybe being the guy that could do the movie, and, I feel like I worked really hard for that, and I defied people's impressions of me, and with The Great Gatsby, I think Baz, knowing, understandably has a history with me, us being both Australians, I think most of the time I'm pretty scruffy, and I'm certainly not a blue-blooded East Coast college-educated type guy when you first look at me. And so I went out of my way to kind of work hard for that role, and when that pays off, there's a real sense of pride. I won't say that it's not terrible when people just call you up and say, hey, there's this project, do you want to do it? But there's something when you actually have to audition for a job and you feel like you really earned it. That feels pretty good.
And sometimes you win and sometimes you lose.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But having been behind the scenes, because my brother and I made a movie.
Is this The Square?
The Square. That taught me a lesson too late in my life that I should never take it as a blow to my ego if I miss out on a job. Because we would see actors come into the room to play parts, and we'd both be sitting there, and I felt strange because I was suddenly the one judging an actor. But I would see a couple of guys come in and go, well, okay, this person is clearly the better actor, but this person is closer to what the character is. You know what I mean? So it's like, I might choose you simply because when I point the camera at you, you are that guy, and I know that you're a great actor, but you're just not the right person.
You going to work with your brother again?
Yeah, we're writing something at the moment, so we should be making a movie next year, I hope.
I'm sure he
Bigger
will.
than The Square and much more kind of right up his alley. I don't even say it because he's my brother, and I'm sure there's a little bit of bias here, but I think Nash is an incredibly talented director, and our work together over the years and the support we have for each other has just made us better at what we do separately, I think, and so I just look forward to kind of us getting together and doing another movie.
Well, it's, the Hollywood world is one thing, but being in control of a high-quality independent film is another. Do you have money lined up?
Not yet. But we know people who are kind of like waiting with their checkbooks, hopefully. Yeah, look, creating our own stuff is a blessing, and I think that while you might get an ulcer out of it because you do really put yourself on the chopping block, there's nothing like that adrenaline, because being an actor sometimes is too much like sitting on the bench at a great, at a basketball final or something. It's like, I know I've got so much more to provide, and I know I've got the moves, but just let me on the court. And as an actor, even playing a big role in a movie, sometimes you're very aware that you're kind of a collaborative prop in someone else's vision, which is cool, but you've got to resign yourself to that. Now, when you get to kind of tell your own story, I don't know. That's why I was describing Baz, like, Baz is such a visionary, and he's the guy in the train sticking his head out the window, letting the breeze run through his hair, willing to take the risk, especially in a country that's filled with, this permanent feeling of the tall poppy syndrome, is that Baz is willing to kind of lead the charge and lead the fabulous charge. I mean, he's not just leading the independent charge. Baz is leading the kind of, the circus. So, anytime you're involved in creating your own way forward, it's better. And it definitely informs me as an actor. It enriches my life as an actor, and it enriches the things that I write. and being an actor enriches my writing, and it's all storytelling. So it all kind of feeds itself, really.
Thank you.
Pleasure.